Good morning, darlings. Hello, how are you? I hope you're all well. Right, last lesson then, we looked at hubris and I went through what it meant and I went through some examples with you. I asked you this question as well, the challenge question: what term might we call this in modern life? And of course, the answer was karma, when people are punished for excessive arrogance, overconfidence, foolish pride. We call it karma, don't we? We've all heard of this term. It's what we call it in modern day society. However, karma is a very old idea, and if you're interested in learning, as you should be, more about this, you can go and Google that and come up with it, and come up with find out about the history, should I say. Sorry, right. So, and then I asked you to think about where we see examples of hubris in Romeo and Juliet. And I gave you some, and I gave you the essay that I wrote about it as well, which I read out during the last video. But I did say it wasn't an exclusive, exhaustive list. There were other examples and other characters to think about. And the help thing here. So I went over a couple of these, but I didn't go through all of them, and I didn't go through all of them in enough depth. And this was your task. So if you haven't done that, you should do that now. This is what this was a little hint, just in case you'd forgotten what hubris meant. Okay, this is it for arrogance, even. Sorry. Right, so you should have then found some places for these, and you shouldn't have just written them down and put the quote down. Perhaps you should have done a little paragraph for each and explained your ideas so that you have something from which to revise. The idea is that if you can do these little paragraphs, you will remember that you've done them because you will have written them out, and it will be muscle memory. And you can then piece together these ideas in any sort of given essay, because essentially you've already got that section written. So that's why I make you do this stuff. And I know you hate me for it, but I really don't care. So, right. If you want to stop and do this 5 a day, please do so, because it won't hurt you at all. There are different quotes here from different places, and write one sentence using pathetic fallacy to describe today's weather and your mood. And if you want to go back to the thunder and lightning 5 days ago, please do so, because that gave me a migraine, and I don't know about anybody else, but I was not impressed with it, and the pathetic fallacy really did sum up my mood. So please pause and do these then. Thank you very much. Okay, right, so this is, I mentioned this a little bit. And if you go back to the structure lesson where we looked at the structure of Romeo and Juliet, remember we did this diagram? I want you to think about that now whilst you're answering this question. How does the structure of Romeo and Juliet help display the hubris of the families and the characters? Now, if you look carefully at that essay that I wrote for you that's in the shared area, and if you can't get onto remote access, you need to email me and I will send it out to you. But you should, there are a couple of hints in there for you to springboard off in order to answer this question. How does the structure, the exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution, help to display the hubris of the families and the characters? This is going to be a detailed response. It's not going to be a couple of words. You should probably spend about half an hour answering this question. Okay, you need to make sure that you are answering the question. That's your AO1. You need to make sure that you are using methods and commenting on the effects and how they contribute to how the hubris contributes to the structure. If you can talk about those two things and any particular quotes which demonstrate the hubris and how that links in with the structure, where they are in the play, what effect they have, how it contributes to the overall plot development, etc., etc. And then the AO3, what the audience would understand or how it reflects something going on at the time. This is going to be a mini essay. This is hard, I'm not going to lie, and you probably won't get anything like this in the exam, but if you can mention or at least be aware of structure being used to display the hubris, and that Shakespeare, as all playwrights and novelists and authors do, structures his work in a particular way for maximum effect, then you'll be able to answer this question. I'm not expecting you to get it perfect. This is a difficult question to do. However, I do expect that you will try. So as usual, I expect you to either type it up and put it into the submissions folder. I expect you to either type it up and email it to me, or do it in your book and take a photo and send it over to me via the email. If you get stuck, if you're not sure, if you go, Miss, I do not know what you are chatting about, what the hell, help, please email me, or you can tweet me at Miss Hine English. Guys, this is what I'm here for. A couple of you haven't been emailing me when you've got stuck with something, and that's a real shame because you're not going to get shouted at all. I'm here to help you. So please, please, even if it's like the tiniest little thing, please just say, Miss, I'm stuck with this. Any ideas? Thanks. That's all you need to do and I will help you. Okay, so that's today's lesson. That's today's video. You should be using everything that's gone before this, especially about the structure stuff and the hubris stuff, and you can use some of the stuff that I put in that essay, but do not copy. I will know my own work to help you answer this question, but obviously there will be a lot more going into it. So you should have done all of this stuff on the screen right here, and all of that, if you think about where everything is. And you might want to do yourself a little timeline to see which ones happens where, which example of hubris happens where, how it increases or how it decreases, or where it ends or where it starts or what causes it. And you might want to think about that. And if you get stuck, like I said before, please email me and ask for help. Okay, this is hard. Good luck. Read your work after every paragraph, make sure it makes sense, and I will see you in the next video. Stay safe, take care, wash your hands.